Welcome everyone to Frontier. Opening bell is the fourth trading day of the week. It's a Thursday, the 6th of October. This was how markets across Frontier Africa closed on Wednesday. A couple of them for you as always, getting you a sense of where the market really was. The Nigerian stock market down by roughly 0.1%, despite gains by Geregu Power PLC, which was listed at 100 yesterday, went up maximum 10% on the day. Investors traded about 8.5 million units of the new power company, the first in the utility segment of the Nigerian exchange. That was one of the biggest news on the day. However, the shares of Zenith Bank fell by 1.5%, Nigeria's largest commercial bank, and Jitco as well, which is a financial supermarket, which includes the GT Bank, which is a guaranteed trust bank. So that's quite some news around Nigerian bourse on the on Wednesday, which is the country's second trading day. Monday, remember, was an independence holiday Monday. So that was the story. The rest of the African continent look a little bit mixed, with the Nairobi stock market still in the negative territory. Safaricom pulled the market back yesterday, as well as big banking names such as Equity Group as well, down by 0.11%. The GSE fell back yesterday from 66,000, where it was on Tuesday, finishing in the negative territory. Okay, let's start taking a look at very quickly at what's making the headlines this morning regarding the economic news and business headlines across the continent, starting as always in East Africa, where the William Ruto's administration is taking a step away from the rest of the continent when it comes to fossil fuel. President William Ruto says Africa will need to be with the rest of the world in terms of the energy transition plans. He's backing off from the rest of the continent when it comes to energy transition plan ahead of COP27 next month in Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt. So that's one of the big stories today, east of the continent. And of course, a very big deal for Safaricom Ethiopia, formally unveiling today in one of Africa's largest economy and the market, 110 million population of Ethiopia. Safaricom is finally unveiling nationally its new business under its consortium in the Horn of Africa, a very big day in Ethiopia, and congratulations for the new horizon. Standard Bank is looking at Joshua Ogiara as a new CEO, former NCB, former KCB Group CEO, by the way. He's expected to be brought in to head the Kenya unit of Standard Bank, which is headquartered in South Africa. We're talking to Nigeria and West Africa space. The World Bank says Nigeria's debt-to-revenue ratio could be around 102%. Debt-to-revenue ratio could be around 102% by the end of the year, because Nigeria is not maximizing the current high-level prices of oil. Also, within the West Africa space, the Bank of Mali is reporting net banking income of about 16.7 billion CFA franc within the period. Not so much good news for Ghana as well. For Ghana, where the World Bank says the country is now a high debt distressed country, and the debt to GDP will be around 104% by the end of December. Not some good news for two of the biggest economies in West Africa and two of the largest also on the African continent. In the meantime, Access Bank in Nigeria says it's buying 51%, which is a majority shareholding in Finibanco of Angola SA, which will give Access Bank access to 200 branches plus of Finibanco in Angola, Africa's largest oil producer, as well as total assets of this commercial bank, around $300 million. OPEC chief yesterday, the Saudi Energy Minister Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman says the action taken yesterday, which will see roughly 2 million barrels per day out of the market starting from November, was a proactive and ahead of the curve. That's what he says. That did not sit down well with Washington as far as those decisions between Russia and Saudi Arabia led the rest of OPEC yesterday in their first in-person meeting since March 2020. That takes to Southern Africa. Massmart says he's having conversations with employees on how to sell his games business in Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and a few other African countries. That decision was formally announced last year. Now the discussions is going on as to how the staff will exit this particular the games will sell, those businesses, and who are the new investors that will come on board. South Africa is also dealing with a PMI came in below water, around 49 reading for the month of September. That's part of the latest economic data from South Africa. Eskom is still there as well, dealing with some of the big issues, is trying to achieve. The CEO says the load shedding will be resolved within the next few days. A few days ago, the new chairman of Eskom says the management should be given benefit of the doubt, quote and unquote, and we're going to see how that pays out. Let's talk about North African markets, where Egypt is reporting net liabilities of banks and the central bank for the period of the month of August. I have a couple of corporate news. Eastern Company also going for an annual general meeting. There's a whole lot to deal with within the North Africa space, of course, with the gas business in Egypt between Capricorn Energy and NewMed making a move on Capricorn ahead of others and trying to hone in on the Mediterranean gas business, which includes Egypt as well. So those are your top stories this Thursday, the 6th of October. I am Bosin Omofai. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you next time.